Hello and welcome to the Wealthy Wellbeing Podcast, where we talk about all things health, fitness, real estate, and entrepreneurship. My name is Zach Bush, and I am your host. Today, I have a special guest, a friend of mine. We've been friends for a couple of years now. Runner-up of Big Brother 23, which was fun. It's the only season of Big Brother that I've ever watched, and I had a blast watching it. Derek Frazier, thank you so much for coming on today.
Zach, thank you so much for having me. You know what is really funny about this? The fact that you said it's the only and last season I have ever watched, which made it clear that you're like one and done. That's it. Never again.
No, I watched it because I was like, I've never known somebody on TV. I want to see how he does. It'll be fun to be like, see that. And then I was watching the show. I'm not a huge fan of the show. I don't like the way it's structured, the way it's paced. I like Survivor.
I don't either. I don't either. I'm trying to tell people in our gym, I'm like, hey, why don't you guys like audition for Survivor? Like, I feel like you'll be great for Survivors. 30 days is more money and it's $1 million, less than 30 days. So I'm always like trying to push people in the gym to go do Survivor. I never want anybody to do Big Brother. Like, it was hell. It was hell.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun to watch. Again, fun to know somebody, at least peripherally know them. But yeah, I mean, Survivor, I love Survivor. I've watched every season of Survivor during COVID. Kate and I, my wife, watched every season. Know that. Yeah, we watched every season during COVID, rewatched every single one, fully up to date on it. I would think it would be the funnest show to do. I would be terrible at it. I'm not fun enough, I don't think, for TV. But the other thing too is I struggle when I don't get enough sleep. So that would be a major issue. I would be emotional. I would be the one that would, like, I'm very level-headed when I'm watching it. It's like, oh, you idiot. Like, why are you thinking like that? I would be the person that's being an idiot because I'm tired and I'm hungry and it would not be good.
Here's what I will say. You are perfect for the show then. This is what I will say. When you go on there, and I didn't know you were such a Survivor fan, because so you're watching this season of Survivor that just aired.
It's recorded.
Okay, good.
We don't usually watch live, but yes, we will be.
Okay, good.
We will watch it. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I won't say anything yet, but once we'll exchange conversation once that happens. But I will say this: the good thing about that type of show and the personality that you have a good personality. You're very athletic, and you're also a leader. So it's like you would dominate in that type of world because you're good with talking with people. I keep trying to tell people all these shows are just talking to people. If you could talk to people, you could get far in the game. If you can't talk to nobody and you're antisocial, you're fucked. Don't do it. Yeah. That's how I try to tell people.
Yeah, I mean, and I think like I can talk to people. I am definitely not like the extrovert. I'm not somebody who wants to go and make conversation with every single person. I'm also not somebody who day one is telling everybody how to build the structure and do all that. I am definitely a fly under the radar person. So I think that would help in that, like, I don't want to be out front, but again, the tired, the hunger, that's going to become an issue for me very quickly.
I don't know, Zach, because I saw you build some fucking wood shit in the gym and it's sitting there, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell it's for SummerSlam, and I'm confused. Or what is it? Is it a higher wall target? But you built it, so you got some good structure. I'll give you that.
Well, I assisted the building, and by assisted, I mean I held the wood, and Mark actually built it all, so I can't take any credit for that.
Okay. All right, so I'll take my hey, Mark, I think you should go do. I'm trying to get somebody else in the gym to do a show, and I really want somebody to do Survivor from Generation badly. Like, I just need somebody else.
Listen, if you want to coach me into how to get on it, I would be more than happy to figure out how
Great.
to do
we will do your audition tape, and I will help you through it. Okay.
All right, it's a deal. Well, let's talk about your experience on Big Brother and getting on that. God. So how does that start from the beginning? How does that process start? Like, did you approach them? Did they approach you? Like, what did that look like?
No, so back in 2021, I was introduced through a show through, some people that I know. And at the time, I was always wanted to do reality TV. My personality was more for, I want to do real world. I want to do the drinking. I want to do the fighting. I want to do like that. That's me. I want to do more drama. So, I lost my job in 2021 at the end because COVID happened. Mm-hmm. And then, I remember going into 2021, I had this part-time job, and then I lost the job. And then I was like, you know what? 2020, I'm lying. 2020, COVID happened, lost my job at the end of the year. And I was like, you know what? Let me just put this audition tape in. What I keep trying to tell people is that all you have to do, there's shows for all these different shows. People are like, I could do that. They sit at home and they're like, I could do that. Then go do it. There's shows on Netflix you can go for. Survivor, Big Brother, I don't know, like Amazing Race. Like there's just so many different competition shows. So I put in a tape at the end of like, I would say it was like December, beginning of December. And I was like, they ain't gonna call me. I just put it in. It was maybe less than 5 minutes, maybe less than. I literally was just how me you're talking. I introduced myself. I'm like, hey, I'm Derek Frazier. I'm 20. I am 29 years old at the time. I'm from Philadelphia, PA. I love having a good time. I love Big Brother. I know I would be good at the competition show because I don't think you guys have ever had someone like me. High entertaining. I'm also gay. I'm big. I'm black. Like, baby, come on. I'm a triple threat. How can you not? So just like I'm selling myself to them, but telling them my story. I let them know, like, hey, I grew up in a single parent home, and I come from the inner of Philadelphia, and I just think that I could really represent. So just giving them a backstory. That's what I try to tell people when they're doing these audition tapes. Just like when you go on a job interview, you have to do what? You got to sell yourself. You want that salary, baby? You better show me. So that's exactly what you have to do. But I put the tape in. Then I got a call, and like I think it was like February. Oh, it was quick. And I was like this. They called, and I was like, at first I didn't answer it because I thought it was collect. Sure. And then the second time they call, and I was like, yo, stop calling my fucking phone. Who the fuck is it? And they're like, hey, this is so-and-so from Big Brother. And I'm like, oh, hold on now. Wait, what you need? Do my social security number? What you need? Whatever you need, baby. So, after that conversation, it was just like, every mom, mostly every 2 weeks, we were like hearing from them, and they, they're just like, there's still a long process still. Like you got to get through them, you got to get through the casting team, you got to get through Paramount, CBS production and their executors. Like it's a whole process, but it's the most craziest thing ever because you still don't know you're on the show. Even if they come and film with you, give you a key and do the whole like montage, like, oh, you're going to the Big Brother house, you're still not on the show because they take you to LA. And then it's the most crazy thing. I don't know how much time we have, but if I really break it down to you, they kidnap you, they come, they basically tell you, because also you got to quit your job. That's another thing. Like,
and you still don't know that you're on it, right? Like you still don't know your job. Oh, okay. Wow, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I tell people, I'm like, make sure when you have a job, make sure you're good with your job, and make sure you could tell them, hey, I'm can I take a leave of absence? Where for me, I was working this part-time job after losing my job before, a temp job. So it was like, whatever. I was like, I can let that go. So, they come and get you. They're like, hey, just let you know next week, we're going to have the film crew come get you. And I'm like, okay, I'm all packed up. Like, am I going on this show? They're like, hey, you just we can't really give you an answer to that. It's just what it is. But me being who I am, not trying to be arrogant and cocky. I'm like, I know they put me on this show. I know it. I'm like, they cannot deny me. And then, they come, they pick you up. And when they first knock on the door, the first thing they say is, give us your phone. They take your phone. And then you go do all this filming and this montage around the city. And then you get your key. And then they're like, all right, we're getting on a plane. They put you on a plane. They blindfold you, when you get to LA. Okay. And when they blindfold you, they take you to a hotel. You're still blindfolded, and they just throw you in a room, and you're there for like sometimes you could be there for a week and a half, and you can't leave the hotel room. Like anything you need food, they bring you food. Any of your medicine, they bring you your medicine. Baby, I tell you the truth, I thought we were on Hostel. I thought my parts were going to be sold. It's interesting. So that's basically the process. And they still don't tell you. You don't know you're on the show until like you're getting dressed in the dressing room in the CBS studios, and then you see Julie Chen on stage. That's when you know you're on the show, because there's plenty of people in the hotel with you that are alternates.
Yeah. So do they like compensate you at all? Like if they end up, like if they do all of that work, right? They spent that money bringing you there and all that. Do they compensate you at all? Be like, hey, sorry, we wasted your time for,
no
2 weeks. No. Yeah. Okay.
No. Let me tell you something. They look at you like this. You are giving the opportunity. This is the opportunity. And I do try to tell people now that I'm 4 years out, it is a good opportunity, but it's also like business wise. I just think that you should not quit your job to go on reality TV. I
Mhm.
always tell people that do not quit your job. Like, make sure you have a steady job. And it comes with there's a lot of negativity that comes with it. There's a lot of hate. There's a lot of people that think they know you, a lot of things that your personal life is not even private anymore. Like, everyone knows like all your stuff because you went on a TV show that's like filmed 24
Mhm.
hours, 7 days a week. Like, people had pictures of me, and I was like, I don't like this. This is like, people had pictures of me, my hands in my pants. I was like, why do we have a picture of me, my hands in my pants while I'm sleeping and stuff like that? Like, it's like crazy. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's just to kind of sum it up. Just be smart.
Yeah.
I had to learn the hard way because when I came out, I did not have things lined up. I did not have a
Mhm.
job. So like the money that I, accumulated on the show was just being thrown out there. Taxes was another thing I had to learn.
Mhm.
Like, there was a big tax, on it that I did not know was going to happen. I thought it was going to be like a little tiny tax. No, that thing was like huge.
Yeah.
And
In
then I had to,
California, right? They have like
yeah,
huge tax.
they got me for California, but it was also like, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania also got me. So
Oh
it was
yeah.
just like, because the money was so big, it was like, um, it was just a lot. To this day, I'm still paying on it. Actually, I'm still paying
Wow.
on it because it was just so much. I was like, I don't even have that. If I give you that, I'm not gonna have anything at this point.
Right.
So, just being smart when you go onto these shows and understand that this is not something that's going to change your life.
Hmm.
It can maybe open some doors, but you're going to have to take the opportunity and turn it into something else. Nothing's going to be given to you. I will say that.
Hmm. Yeah, and you touched on, kind of, you're on a show, you're a national show, millions of people are watching, and everybody, they find your Instagram handle and all day, which is good, right? It gives you exposure, but then it also comes
Yeah.
with that downside of people think they know who you are. You get the trolls coming out of the
Mhm.
woodwork, right? Like, how do you
Yeah.
how do you handle that? I think that's got to be the biggest challenge coming out of it, is to handle that just the mental part of
Yeah, Zach, I would say, when I first came out of Big Brother, I felt very invincible at first.
it.
I
Hmm.
felt like, I'm the shit. No one's gonna tell me nothing. But over the course of time, when you constantly get it over and over again, especially on like Twitter and especially on these other outlets, it could really get to you. Like, people are very like coming down on you and thinking they know you, and they're like, "Hey, I did a TV show. I also was not in the right frame of mind of some of the decisions I was doing or some of the things that I said. Like, that's not me on the regular. Like, I'm not over here like whispering and scheming against somebody to get them out the house. Like, that's not me. Or things I might say. But people think because they saw you on that that's who you are as a person. So it took me a while to realize no matter what I say, I'm still going to have people that don't like me because of my personality or who I am as a person. You're also going to have people that might be jealous of you because of the fact that they wish that I could have been the person on that show. You wasted a
Hmm.
spot. And people really do show their colors. Zach, I have been called some horrible things from, I'm not going to give it all, but from, a fat person to obese to a bundle of sticks. I think you get what I mean by that. The M word. I have been called everything in general plus more. My parents should die. Like, everything you could think of. The web is nasty. Now, for me, I might got it a little bit smaller. I can't imagine being a Michael Jordan or a bigger celebrity out there and having to deal with things like that. Like, it's
Hmm.
crazy. But the way that I dealt with it was, I feel like the first year I had it under control. But the one thing that saved me a lot was the gym. The gym was my mental escape from everything else. I know when I come to the gym, I can be there in that moment. It's a safe place. There's good people around me. I feel comfortable. And then also my home. But I would say it took me 3 years to finally get to this point of coming back down. Because when you come out of there, you're in shell shock. You got to
Hmm.
think about it. You were cut off 4.5 months no phone, no nothing, not knowing what's going on. You come out the house and you're like, it took me forever to put my password in my phone. I couldn't remember it.
Yeah.
I was like, call it. I was hoping one of my friends would call me so I could tell them, hey, what was my password to my phone? But coming out in that type of atmosphere, if you don't have the right setup, you could really fall apart. And I had to go through a lot of, mental breakdowns in order to get myself back up. Now I'm kind of like, I set my standards to understand. I don't care if people don't like me. I'm so focused on myself. And I also had to get the negativity around me that was also with the people around me in my circle. I had to grow out of some friendships and things like that because of the fact that things were not meshing well. People felt like I changed after doing the show or things like that. So it's a lot, but you just got to kind of find that what's good for you in that path, and it'll take time. Now, someone that does shorter shows, their process, I feel like, is a little bit different, but a Big Brother show is probably the most mental on your head for that time. Sorry, that was long-winded, but just to kind of give you a little bit of that.
Yeah, no, and I like what you said about how like this isn't, that's not something you figure out right away, right? It took you, years to kind of really, learn what's working, what's not working. You had to change a lot changed, whether you wanted it to or not, right? Friend groups and all that. I think it's important to realize that, a lot of the business stuff, entrepreneurship stuff that I read, that I watch, that people that come on here, like you have to find the right people around you, right? You're the average of the 5 people that are around you. So it's like picking and choosing, and those are hard. Sometimes it's family members, sometimes it's extremely close friends where it's like, you're dragging me down and I need to, separate myself from you, maybe not cut you off permanently, but separate you so I can surround myself with people that support me in the way that I want to be supported, in the way that I want to go.
Yeah, I would say this past year, 2024 was a big change for me. Like open up wise, friendship dynamic, things in my life change. And it was for the better. At first I was like a little bit like, oh my God, this is horrible. But then I realized, no, this is actually for the better, because I was able to like get my health together. I was able to really focus on the gym, focus on what my goals are. And I had to go through a transition. I always believe in life that we're all going through these transitions. And each time we're going to either fail, but we're going to come out of it. So it's like, I feel like I've constantly fail, I come out of it, fail, come out of it. Now, I feel like now at 33, I feel like now I'm at the point of, okay, I'm now consistent. It's now consistent. There's no setback where there was distractions and things in the way. Now I'm like, oh, I'm good. So, of course, still struggling this past month, as I told you, these 10 pounds I gained are like, we're fighting. It's not moving. Scared for my weigh-in on Monday. But I the way I look at it is, if as long as I'm coming 6 days a week, I'm drinking my water, I'm taking my vitamins, I'm doing what I need to do, I understand that consistency and a schedule is so important. And that is what the biggest change to help me this past year. And I surrounded myself with people I have things in common. I talk to people that have things in common. I have my time where I'm like, okay, this is my person when I want to talk about Ratchet TV. Okay. This is my people when I want to play video games, and my people I can talk about CrossFit, and then like talk to you guys on the regular and checking up on you guys, because it's a two-way street. Like, you push me, I push you. I also check on you, you check on me, because of the fact that you just never know what somebody's going through. And if I didn't have those conversations when I go into the gym and things like that, I'll probably be a little bit lost. I would be like, I'm not getting the full experience. So it's so important to do that mentally. I'm all about mentally checking in because of what I went through after Big Brother, and seeing the dark side that I got to, and then also seeing people that I care about get to that dark side. So that's what I would say to that. I will say that. Just mentally make sure your ass is good. And whatever that is, if it's cooking, if it's cleaning, if it's video games, if it's reading a book, never want to read a book. Watching TV, I don't know, watching funny videos, hanging out with your family, whatever is good for your mental, make sure you do that consistently so that you can deal with everything else in the world. That's how I deal with all the bullshit of the trolls and everything else. Because I just sit there and just go, all right, go ahead. Let me see what Susie from California wants to say with her profile pic with her, extensions looking a mess, or, here's Joe Schmo who can't even show his face, hiding behind something. And that's how I look at it.
Yeah, I love that. And, it's you mentioned, you don't realize you're in the hard times when you're in the hard times. Sometimes like things are hard, but you don't always realize that. And then when you're out of it, you're like, okay, wow, like look at how far I've come through that. And that way, when you go into the next hard time, it's like, okay, we've been here before. Maybe it's not the same situation, the same thing, but we've been here. We know we can get through it. Now we have a little bit better support. And it's just that undulating, right? It gets better each time. And, as hard as it seems in the time, you get out of it maybe a little bit quicker, a little bit easier, a little bit better on the other end, just like the weight loss, right? Like sometimes that scale looks really good. Sometimes it looks really bad. But in the grand scheme of things are improving in one way or another.
Yeah. And the thing for me is like, I've lost, I lost 71 pounds. And what was the wake up call for me was, in February, and be honest with you, Zach, and I think I've talked to you a little bit about this. In February, I was up to 409. I was the biggest I've ever been in my life. And, I remember just feeling a little defeated. I was smoking. I was a heavy smoker. I was smoking, drinking on the weekends, and still coming across that, but I was not getting the results. I was still eating, doing whatever, and going to CrossFit and not getting the results. And after I had a horrible January month with changes, life, friends, things happening, I remember I went to the doctor and he was like, okay, you're 409. I said, 409? You're joking. He goes, you're 409. And I said, okay. And he also said, just let you know, you're like this much of a diabetic. I said, no, impossible. And I already have high blood pressure. Those things run in my family, diabetic, high blood pressure, things like that. And I remember just sitting there just like, oh my God, what am I doing? And I just didn't know what to do. And I knew that I need to take advantage of, I either do this now or I'm never going to do it. I know myself. And I just sat there and I was like, I'm wasting time. I just moved back home. I'm closer to my gym now. I need to really take this serious. In the first 3 months, I did it all on my own. I just I cut out everything. I told people I'm not going to be doing this. I'm going to be focused on school. Leave me alone. Don't ask me to do nothing. And I literally just focused, just going to the gym. And I just started just watching what I was eating, looking at stuff online, figuring out what I'm going to meal prep. And then over that course of time, the weight started coming off. And I started noticing, okay, I'm getting a little better here and there. And then I picked up the nutrition program, which I was very thankful that, one of the gym mates, Gloria, who I love, she's such a sweetheart. She was so nice enough to she kept begging me for months. She begged me from March to October. I said, Gloria, I can't do this program. I ain't got that much money. I'm struggling. And she was like, no, I'm going to sponsor you. So she was nice enough to sponsor me. And that helped me even more, than I've been doing now. And I started that in October. So it was just great because then I finally hit my goal in December, at the end of December, that I lost, 71 pounds. Now I have gained 10 of that back. I'm sitting now. I was started at 409. In December, I was 338. I'm now sitting at 348, which I'm pissed about, but I'm trying my best to figure it out. But the thing I've learned is if I'm staying consistent and I'm getting better and I'm pushing myself, I just got to understand, hey, I might need to reevaluate things. Maybe I got to take consideration, I just took on more stress. I'm now in school. I'm not sleeping as much as I was before. So I got to make some different adjustments. But just that journey alone took me a while to get there, to now I feel better, and I'm ready for the next goal. So now I'm like, okay, I want to try to get under 300 pounds before June. Try it, but I want to get as close as I can. So at least I can go into the summer saying, okay, I hit 300 pounds. So we'll see.
That's awesome. I mean, to do that, even lose that much weight is what you started doing it by yourself, you said, right? What where did you figure that stuff out? Like, I mean, that's got to be harder just to do it by yourself, right?
So Zach, if you remember what I said earlier, like, sometimes you fail, and you pick back up. I have lost weight before. I have lost weight probably 2 times in my life. And the one time I did it, oh my God, I can't believe I'm talking about this, but I did MTV Made.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
But I did MTV Made, and I lost a bunch of weight then, but I lost it very unhealthy. I was probably eating like under 1,000 calories a day. Okay.
Yeah.
And I was working out like 2 times a day.
Wow.
And it was just constant work, and I lost a lot of weight then. But because I did it that way and I didn't understand how to maintain it off, I ended up gaining it right back.
Right.
And then I had a time where, one of my best friends who's, she's such a great advocate and she does CrossFit herself. She helped me. She actually, like, at the time was, she was living with me at the time because she had to do a transition from her house, and she helped me lose weight. And I was able to lose like a bunch of weight in like 6 months. And then that time, I thought because I lost the weight, it would stay off, and I was just still doing my same habits, going out drinking and partying. And then I moved out. And when I moved out, it was just a downward spiral. I wasn't going to the gym consistently, up here. I was off and on, and it was just like hit or miss.
Was having her there kind of helping you go to the gym more consistently?
Yeah. Oh, no. Because I was here at the time. So it helped. It definitely helped with her telling me what to do, what to eat, helping me with the meal plans and stuff like that. So I was able to learn tricks and things that I could do. But, when I moved out of an environment that it took me away from CFG, it was kind of like, I'm now in this environment where I'm partying and hanging out with friends, and we're staying up late at night and video games and this and that. And it was just like, there was no consistency there. There was no, like, let me go to bed at this time. Let me do this. Like, I would stay up odd hours of the night during the work week and stuff like that. Drinking during the work week and things like that. I didn't try to get up and come to CrossFit and try to act like I'm gonna do something, but I think because I've been through those, where this time around I was like, I know what I need to do. Yes, I do. I did do a little bit in the beginning, and I still do off and on a little bit of calorie deficit here and there, but it's more, I'm more smart about it. I'm more understanding I still need to eat this amount because I'm going to burn this amount. So I do that. I try to keep a habit of not eating after 6 o'clock. That's just me. Everybody's different. The water intake and is help, but I would say even with me going that first set of losing, and then switching over to having Barry and the coaches at the gym, doing the nutrition and stuff like that helped me a lot understand what I need to do, and I was able to make habits. And now, like, I just gotta apply those. The issue that I'm running into right now is I'm like this. Even though I'm at home, I'm still waking up and going to the gym. I'm still like this. I still need to get I need to get this whole gallon down that I haven't even started today. Haven't even started.
You worked out today.
Yeah, but I still need to get this whole gallon down. So I think the thing about it I learned is if you want it, you'll do it. I'm very passionate now, and I think because I'm 33, I'm not getting younger. And I'm just tired of feeling, I said this to myself, I'm just tired of feeling like I can't do nothing, or I don't want to feel like I can't move and things like that. Now, I'm still out of breath majority of the time, but I just hope that it'll get better over the course of time. And definitely quitting smoking helped a lot. Like it literally gave me a lot of my lungs back that I wasn't able to use before. So that was a big component. I still don't know how some people still do it, because I know people that like smoke and work out. I don't know how. But it definitely did help me a lot. Because my thing was I had this thing in my mind of like, oh, I'm working out and partying and I'm smoking, I'll lose weight, because cigarettes help you lose weight. Fuck no, that shit don't work. I don't know how they came up with that myth, because that is not a thing. at all.
Oh, that's the cigarette companies telling you that, so that you just like, oh, I can just keep smoking, right? Like,
I think it's that, and it's also like I think about like the models that used to do it back in like the early '90s. But I'm like, they were probably not eating too. That's why, like, it's just crazy to me that I had that thought process in my head. But once I got that, I just feel like things just came better, and now mentally I feel better. Now everything else is good. Financially, I'm still struggling, but I'm doing great of making sure to set myself up for the future. So like now I'm like, all right, let's keep working out. Let's set our next goals. My goal is hopefully by the end of next month, not this month, hopefully next month I can lose like 10, 15 pounds.
Okay.
And then I'm going to set that for each month and going into, June. I don't think I'm going to get under 300 by June. I don't think so, because I didn't start off January and half of February right. But I think I could get maybe close to maybe like I'm hoping under 320. That's what I'm hoping for, and see how that goes. Yep.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with like goals, like it's good to have that goal for sure, and I think people get caught up in the goal as being the defining success or failure of the thing. But you talked about a lot, and that's consistency. So the goal is, and this is what I talk to a lot of people about, like other clients and just in general, but the goal that you're looking for, like that's the end result you're looking for, right? So that's what you ultimately want to happen. But the real goals, the things that you need to do are the consistent habits that you do day in and day out, right? And I'm sure, Barry, I think your coach, like I'm sure he talks about that. And, if the analogy I use is if you're going to take a plane from Philly to San Francisco, that San Francisco is that goal. But along the way, you need to do those checks. Am I hitting those consistent habits, right? Because a degree or two off, if I miss a habit or two, you're going to end up in Oregon, right? Or you're going to end up down in like Mexico rather than in San Francisco, right? So that's the biggest thing. And it's out, you get that and you do that. So the consistent habits are important, and you've been building those. What is the biggest one that has made the biggest impact on you over the past like 6 months or a year?
Definitely. Okay. So the biggest impact for me has been, I definitely understand I got to get sleep, even though I might stay up at night. I mean, I know I got to get more than 7 hours of sleep. I have to, in order to do everything I need to do. So when that's off, it can knock off everything else, which has kind of happened this past month and a half of not getting enough sleep. But like, for example, I'm understanding, I need to understand time management, and that's why I'm assessing. I also understand I can't be on my phone late at night. That's another thing that like keeps me up, because I love me some good TikTok. So those are components that I'm learning and understanding in order to further myself. But the one thing I can say that I'm thankful for is that I haven't stopped going to the gym. Obviously we have our times, we have vacations, we have things that come up, life, we get that. But no matter what, I'm in the gym at least 6 days out the week. And I'm constantly going and doing the stuff that I don't even like to do. I'll bitch and moan and complain. And I appreciate the coaches. I definitely do, because they'll listen, they'll take it. But I will say that's the one change for me that is needed. And that's just for me to go there mentally. And that's also for me to continue keeping the weight off or keeping it from going up. Even though I'm sitting here and I'm like, damn, I'm at 348 right now. Like that's 10 pounds from where I was before. At least I'm telling myself, okay, if you're going to sit here and maintain it, we're going to sit here and maintain it. We're not going up. So let's figure it out. So I would say just the consistency of going to the gym has definitely been the most important thing for me. That's my mental place. That's my place of being able to talk to people that have the same goals and things that they want to achieve. And because I am I guess I am a good competitive person. I do need that edge, because going on my own, even though I do my own little class, as I tell you, Zach, my little 8:30 in the morning class, or 8:15, depending on what time I get there, class, I still appreciate knowing that there's people that I can push myself against and things like that. So yeah, I do take the time to go, okay, where's the leaderboard at? Who did something crazy today? So, those things help me a lot. And I know where my wins are, and I know where my losses are. I know when I go, okay, I can get Zach in this. I'm not getting Zach in this. Like, I know where those things are put in place in order to help me, because it keeps me accountable. And that's the most important thing. Accountability is about the whole entire thing. You got to be accountable in your mental. You got to be accountable with your life. You got to be accountable with your family. You got to be accountable with your health. Like, it's just, accountability plays into all these different components, and that's what allows me to understand life better, of accountability. So it's like, I know I have to do this, and I've set those standards. I've set those standards so well, and I appreciate the people that understand it. That right now I'm in school. My friends have not texted me in the last 2 days because I told them I have so much stuff. I'm alive. I'm okay. Don't ask me to play no video games until after 12 midnight Saturday. And that's a maybe, because I still got to go to the gym Sunday. So it's like, it might be a wash this weekend. So just setting those boundaries for people to understand, and it will help you succeed. That's what helped me succeed. Setting those boundaries in a respectful manner. My friends, they don't ask me to like go out and party and stuff like that in the neighborhood. I'm more of a, you want to sit at home? You want to do a little bit of Mario Kart? We could drink in the house. I don't need to go in that environment. What is that environment doing for me? But I've learned where things are positive and negative. I've learned, like, the Philadelphia scene is not really my scene. I've been through it. I've lived it. I've lived down there. I've seen it all. I'm like, it's going to be the same old stuff. Where for me, I'm more the type of person where I'd rather save my money. Let's travel. Let's go to New York. Let's go to DC. Let's go to all these other places. I live in Philly. I've been there. It's the same old shit. Tony, the bartender, still going to be there. Susie, the other bartender, still going to be there. It's going to be the same old faces. What's the work? What's the purpose? And that also allows me to understand, like, I don't have to go out and do stuff, which I do appreciate that, because sometimes you could fall back into your old habits, and I don't want to fall back into my old habits. So that's why I tell my friends, like, hey, let's just do stuff at the house, or let's go do a workout. Let's go for a walk, or let's go do something else. I'm in that point in my life because I don't want to be a person later in life that, ends up having to go in the hospital, or, have heart problems because I'm big, or cancer and all this other stuff, because I don't like the doctors in the first place. Some people love going to the doctors. I don't. It's expensive. I don't like it. So it's like, I don't want to be put underneath anything. So I have to do it, make sure I'm staying on top of my tasks and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Build your life how you want it, want to improve, make the lifestyle good for what you need. And it sounds like learning to do that, going to the gym more, being around people that go to the gym, or at least respect, hey, I need this space for this reason, whether it's school or gym or whatever it is. That I'm assuming that was part of that process of like, hey, I got to cut some of these friends out, like, over the last few years, and do it for myself.
Yeah, this past year was definitely a big come up, and it's crazy because on my Instagram I did a video where I showed myself when I was in the car. It was like the first, second week I got back into the gym at CrossFit, and I made a whole video. It was longer than what it was that I put on my Instagram. But just to see, like, how puffy I was, how big I was, how I could tell the emotion I was going through to where I am now, is just crazy, because this is probably the longest and consistent I've ever been as working out and staying on top of things. Usually I never make it past a 7-month period, because I've always lost my weight in less than 7 months. Like, I think it was 80. I lost 80 pounds one time in 6 months. Wow. And I was like, and that was obviously the unhealthy way. So this is the longest I've ever, been consistent, with the gym and making sure I do everything I need to do. But I just have so many, when you get to a point that you're tired, it's like you keep pushing yourself. It's just like how when you're tired in a workout, you're like, one more round. I can do this. One more round. Let me keep going. Let me just give it my all. I'm just tired. I'm just tired of carrying the weight, or tired of looking the same. And, we all critique ourselves. I'm a big person. I critique myself on how I look, pictures, things like that, because, also I'm on this level that I got a lot of people looking at me. So I'm always thinking, oh my God, I want to make sure I look good. Do I look skinny? Do I look great? And that plays in your head. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm tired of it. I just need to get it. I just need to do it so that I'm not questioning or thinking those things. And I'm getting to that point inch by inch as I go. So that's how I look at it. That was very long-winded. Sorry about that.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, but it shows, like you said, you've lost the weight, and that's what I hear a lot too, is like the yo-yo dieting thing. Like, hey, let's cut everything out. Let's be super strict. Anybody can do that for a short period of time, and you're 7 months, and you've got a significant result from that. But it wasn't sustainable. And even though what you're doing now is you've lost a bunch of weight initially, and it's kind of plateaued, which is going to happen, and you got to go back through it.
I hate that damn P word.
I know, everybody does. But the fact is that you haven't gone significantly back up because of the habits that you've built. And that takes time, unfortunately. But you also didn't gain the weight in 7 months, right? It took years and years. So that's why I try to tell people it's going to take years and years to get back to whatever way you want to. And you just have to, if you build it right and do it right, like you're doing consistent habits over time, that's going to stay up. It might not happen as fast, but guess what? It's going to happen permanently.
That's how I'm trying to look at it permanently. Like, I don't want to have to keep going back through this. I want to be able to live my life. I want to be able to just, and the thing about it is I set myself to know things. So it's like, I have a calendar. I go, okay, I have this one trip coming up. I got this one thing. So I know this weekend, I'm gonna try to make sure I at least make good habits. Like, let me just drink clear stuff, clear and seltzers, or clear and a diet, or clear and water. Let me try my best to make sure I eat a good meal beforehand, or not try to eat crazy stuff afterwards. Get up and go for a walk the next day or something like that. So I'm making sure to set those different boundaries and habits when those things come. And I have to understand, like, don't step on the damn scale after a weekend. Don't meet with Barry after a weekend or a trip or something. I try my best to make things ahead of time. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this week because I ain't got nothing going on. So I always tell people you can live your life. It could be sustainable. That's how I'm learning. But there is going to be, like you said, that P word plateau here and there. But I just look at it where I was like, all right, we're going to keep trucking it along. Okay. Now we had a little bit of setback this last 2 months. I'm ready let's take off running. It's starting to get a little bit warmer, because I also feel like it's hard to really sweat a lot when it is cold outside or cold and things like that. So yeah, that's where I'm at. We're going to see how these next couple of months go. I'm going to try to beat myself up as much as possible. And it's a new month, which is good. And there's goals that could be achieved. And I definitely look forward to seeing how I can achieve those goals, because I told myself I'm not going into summer. I have so many trips. I said, I'm not going into summer still looking the way I am. I don't care what I need to do. I will figure it out. I need to lose 30 pounds before summer. So we're going to get.
I think you look great. And I love what you're doing. And I love the way that you're approaching it. I remember talking to you, maybe it was 2 years ago, kind of before you restarted everything. And just the way you were saying things, and not that it was necessarily bad. It just, I
it was bad.
Your mindset.
No, it was bad. Let's be honest. It was bad. I was like, I got to lose all this weight before I try to go do a show. And it was like, what?
Well, and I can see where the mindset gets like that, but you're in a better spot now where this is a lifestyle change. So you can still have those good times and those trips and the long weekends or the weeks away, but because of the work you put in and the habits that you've built, you can have that week. You're more mindful of it, right? Like you said, all right, I gotta have some drinks, but make them better choices, right? It's just better choices. Yeah. But then when I'm back on it, right? And maybe it takes a day or two to fully get back on it, but you're back on it, and you're capable of doing that now because of the work that you put in doing these habits and over time and building it up. So that's the most important part. There are times absolutely where I'm going out for a weekend bender with the boys up the mountains, right? But Monday I come back and I'm back at it. For the most part, things are good, but there's going to be times where, hey, this is where I'm at in my life. And I just, there's going to be vacations. Cool. I want to enjoy those at the same time. I don't want to restrict everything from those and not enjoy the vacation. It's not worth it to me. So you're in a much better mindset on it a little bit.
For sure. And because of those things that are happening, like you said, it's those are my rewards. Not saying I don't reward myself on the regular, but I know, okay, I have a trip coming up in April where I got to go to a basketball charity event. That's usually a lot of partying. That's a lot of, good time. probably won't be working out. Maybe try to go for a run. I'm gonna try. But the thing about it is, like, I know that's coming up right now. Everything else, leave me alone. That's the next time I could do something. That's how I set myself. I'm like, hey, I could do video games. We can have movie nights. We can do stuff like that. But the next time I'm going to drink is when I go on a trip. That's how I try to look at it. I don't need to drink during the time of me being at home. I look at it as I'm going to drink when I go on these trips. So that's my way of rewarding myself. I have 2 more trips this summer. I just have to do what I need to do. So yeah, I'm going to kill myself tomorrow in the gym. Try to do this workout that I don't want to do and see what happens. But I have learned going into these meetings with like Barry. My last meeting I had with him was in the end of January. And, I did gain the 8 pounds. So I'm hoping going into this meeting, either I stay the same, or if it's not the same, I just have to look at it wise that, there's a lot of things that have changed, but maybe it's muscle. I don't think it's muscle, but I just had to look at it wise that this is just me resetting and making the adjustment, because obviously things have changed since last year. I've added on more things that have now restricted me from maybe potentially going to bed at the time that I need to go to bed. It's just realistic, because I work from 10 to 7 at night. So it's like I'm doing school from 7 to like 11 at night sometimes, and maybe 12 o'clock. So I'm not able to do that cutoff like I did before. Cutoff, Barry used to tell me 10 o'clock, and then you get in bed by 10:30. No electronics at 10:30, and that might not happen, So I just have to make the adjustments. But I will say this thing right here is the key to everything. Water is the key to everything. And if I could just stay focused on drinking a gallon a day, I think everything will be okay. So.
Yeah, well, that kind of I was going to ask you, I always like to ask everybody, like, what's the one thing that they would recommend somebody who was in their position before trying to get started in something, whether it's health, fitness, business, or whatever? Like, what's the one thing where it's like, this is what I would recommend for somebody at the beginning of their journey?
If your journey is to get on reality TV or to any reality show, don't quit your damn job. But you can go do it. Don't quit your damn job. Okay, make sure you get a leave of absence or whatever. Okay, and no, it's not going to be your career for the rest of your life. It can open doors or help a business that you might already have started. If you're someone who's looking to lose weight, I would say you have to really set yourself with a schedule and being consistent and figuring out like what is going to drive you to keep going. And you have to keep that thing embedded in your head as you go, and then change it to something else. Once you get to a certain goal, it's like, okay, I got to this goal. What's going to keep me going? You know what? I want to wear those pants that I had back in the early 80s or whatever. Okay. And then I would say lastly, water. Water is the most important thing. I don't think we drink enough of it. I definitely don't for myself. I'm still struggling with it. But I'm trying to find different ways to get water down. A straw. Like I have 3 drugs around me, so I'm constantly picking it up and making sure I'm drinking something. So just those are the things I can leave you with, when it comes to things. I can't give you no financial advice. I'm broke. That's why I'm going back to school to get me a job. So I ain't got nothing for you there.
Start a coaching business where you coach like budding people or people that are got like initial approval for casting, and then just be like, all right, here's what we need to do. Here's how we set things up. You can just do an initial kind of like charge a couple $100 for somebody about to do it. It's like, here's what we need to set up. Here's what you need.
Listen, I'm trying. I'm over here trying to figure out this branding deal I need to do, and it's like hard to try to figure out and do. But yeah, I do. I just try to tell people when they're going, if they're ever going to do these shows, and I'll give you the same advice when we do your tape. Okay. Literally be yourself. It's just like a job interview. Like when you're talking to somebody, why do you want this 6 figures? Explain why you deserve this job positioning or promotion. Mm-hmm. You got to sell it. That's the one thing I can say. Just sell it. And then by the time you know it, guess what? You'll be walking through the door, doing the show or job or anything. You have to treat everything. You're always selling yourself, always in life, because your first impression, how people feel about you. And that's what you're doing when you do these casting tapes or anything in life. So just be yourself, though. I tell people be yourself. I've seen people try to put on facades like, oh, I'm this ultimate villain, and they're like the nicest person in the world, going to church, opening doors, kissing babies. Like, don't sit there and try to be something you're not, because they'll see that through casting process. So that's my advice.
Okay, well, I'll consider that, and then if I ever get on Survivor, I'll shoot you over some referral fee for getting me on there.
I will say this: I'm gonna give you a task, and I know you're gonna hate this task. You're gonna have to do your tape like now.
Why
because of the fact that they're auditioning right now for like Survivor 49, and Survivor 50 is an all-star season. And I don't know. I feel like there might be more Survivor afterwards, but I just don't want to take that risk. So literally, you sit in front of the camera, you talk to people, you can make it less than 5 minutes. All you got to do is talk about who you are, why you will win, why they need you. Okay. And just be yourself. Now, I know some people that might make a little video, it might be less than 5 minutes, throwing their workouts or things they do on the side. If you want to do that, that's fine. If you have the editing skills to do that, great. But if not, just do it and just be yourself and make it just talk, explain, be like, I am not a competition person, or I'm not good. Be honest, because guess what? They might look at that and be like, okay, we want him. You never know.
It can't hurt, right? I mean,
it can't hurt.
It's always a no.
Just do it. Yeah. I'm gonna send you the link. Just do it. Take the time. Don't think about it. Don't be like, oh, I sound stupid or something like that. Be yourself. Just be like, hey, Survivor, I'm Zach. How old are you, Zach? Are we the same age now?
33.
Oh, we're both the same age. Okay, great. Yeah. I'm 33 years old. Tell them where you're from. What did I do? I just became a dad. I'm dealing with whatever you're dealing with. I love Survivor. You know why I would be on it? I want to be there in the sand with Jeff, letting him know I'm here to win. Like, just be yourself. You have energy. Even though you think sometimes you might seem a little mellow, you're not mellow to me. You have energy. You give that energy, be yourself, and then guess what? You never know. Because guess what? You'll sit there, and then when you get a call, you'll be like, damn, I'm glad I listened to Derek. Just do it. You never know.
Yeah.
And they're always picking people from Pennsylvania. They're always. Yeah. Every single season. There's 2 girls this season. There was a girl, remember the girl last season? Sierra?
Yeah.
She was the nurse?
Yeah.
King of Pressure. Yeah, right. 2 girls this season, Philadelphia. So
yeah, there's a chick on Below Deck that's from like New Jersey or something. I don't know if you watched Below Deck, but
I do sometimes. I know me and you we have to converse because of traders, and I know me and you are not on the same page, and I'm very sad about it, but it's okay.
Well, I don't know. Not on the same page. I don't dislike her. I think the theatrics are a little much for me.
It's great though.
On her knees, like, oh my god, like relax. Like, you can pretend to be upset, but you don't have to be like. Yeah.
It's good for the show. Listen, it's good for the show. Because guess what? If you obviously, because we're watching at home, these people don't know her like that. Where I know Danielle personally, so I'm cracking the hell up that they're like thinking this is okay. But now I understand they're catching on to things. But I will say this: it's a good show. And here's my thing: I loved everyone but Boston Rob.
Oh, I love Boston Rob.
I knew you were going to say that.
I've always loved it since Survivor days.
I liked him on Survivor. Huh?
Would you ever go on another show?
You know what? I would. But unfortunately my phone's not ringing. So but I would do another one. But I'm just like everybody else. I put in tapes to shows and see if they'll, pick it up and want to do it. I have to just start from the beginning. But if they do call me to do something, I would do it if the money is right and the timing. I don't know if I would do another show that was like 4.5 months of my life. I don't think I would ever do that again. Because I don't want to backtrack.
Is that like one of the longest ones?
It's the longest recording. Yeah. So I would probably do If they did like a 1 month, I would do a 1 month.
If you had to pick any of the shows, right, regardless of whether or not you applied,
Oh yeah,
which one interests you to do? Like, if you had your choice, which one would you do?
I definitely, if I had a choice to do, traders is number one for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then number two would be the challenge.
Okay.
Because I still want to do the challenge because it's more physical as a strength and things like that I wasn't able to use in Big Brother. Like me being big and strong didn't do nothing for me in Big Brother. Big Brother is all like kiddie games and puzzles and little things and stuff like that. But definitely traders, the challenge. And then I would love to do, just for fun, I would love to do Survivor because they just get so damn skinny. I would be like, starve me ASAP, baby. Make me suck, yes, starve me. Because I won't eat shit. I'm such a picky eater. I want to eat nothing. They'd be like, here's a snail. I'll be like, I want that snail.
What about the rice? Just eat a bunch of rice.
Yeah, ain't enough. Ain't enough for me and you, Zach. I'll tell you that now. I'll look at you and be like, I don't know.
I need to eat all the time. I'm hungry constantly.
So that's the thing. That's the thing I'm talking about. Jeff was like, here's a bag. Split it. Here's a little Ziploc bag of rice for the whole entire 6 members of the tribe.
Yeah, that would get me in trouble. I'd be sneaking extra. I'd be the guys that are talking about this guy over here not sharing any of this stuff. We call all these Christian. He's not eating all. That would be me.
Yes. I'm trying to think of another one I would do. Damn.
If you were on traders, would you rather be a faithful or a trader?
I'm gonna be a faithful. I'm gonna catch all the traders. I am that good. I'm gonna be a messy faithful at that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like you'd be so.
I would make the traders happy. I would get out faithful. Yes, I would get out faithfuls for the traders. That's how good I would be. They would want to keep me because I would get out the faithful. I would get out the boring faithful. I would keep all the housewives. I'm keeping all the competitors because the competitors, I can at least read their body language and who they are. I feel more comfortable with the competitors. I don't feel comfortable with people I don't know. So like the Ivar and the Sierra and Summer House and them, I'm like, I don't know who they are, but the housewives, I know who they are. So I'm comfortable. I'll be that type of person. But you could just cough wrong, look wrong, blink wrong. Oh, I'm warning you. You coughed 2 times. You only coughed once yesterday. We got to talk about that. I feel like your cough was a little extra when someone was talking, which is giving trader vibe.
You could,
yeah. I don't want to be a trader.
You get yourself banished so quick.
No,
maybe not murdered because the traders want to keep you. But
I would. You banishing me? I'm banishing you, bitch. That's how I am. Let's banish each other. Let's both banish. Can we, Alan? Can we banish 2 people at the same time? Okay. But I do think that I would definitely enjoy going for that. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I think it's me. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I definitely would go for it. I feel like if I was a trader, I wouldn't mind being a trader, but I just feel like I would just be killing people for the wrong reasons. It would be so bad. It would be so bad. It would be so-and-so took the last piece of bacon. I'm killing them. And everybody's going to argue in the turret, be like, that doesn't make any sense. I'll be like, I'll be turning around, writing the name already, walking out with the paper, not even listening. That's how bad of a trader I would be. They would be like, is this the decision? This is my decision. I don't know what decision they're making. I've wrote on the paper already, and I'm walking out the door to give it to Alan.
Yeah, the other traders would be like, can we just sub this? Can we sub him out? Can we just get him out and a new trader in here?
Right. So, I definitely would. I feel like traders is definitely number 1 on my list. The challenge is definitely number 2. I don't think I have any other show. I would go and do like a Big Brother reindeer games if it's like 2 weeks of filming, 3 weeks of filming, or a month filming. But I don't want to do nothing else. I would love to host. I love hosting. I love entertaining. So as long as I can still entertain, but the good thing for me is that I feel like I'm just thankful just of having the opportunity to meet people and do things. And, like I said, I'm going to a charity event that I go to every year and just being able to give back. I always like that. And I love hearing people's stories. The one thing about me is I'm very very mellow and very humble. So when I talk to people, I want to know more about them. I know people are like, oh, let me hear about you. I'm like, no, I want to hear more about you. Like, what's your goals and aspirations and things that you want to do? Because I always like to help people. I'm such a big helper. Um, and that's the one thing I will say I have learned a lot in life is helping people. But I think I just got that just from like how I was raised. It definitely did help a lot. So,
That's awesome. That's super cool. I mean, helping people's fun too. I enjoy it as well. But and you and
of
Baker,
course,
I would love to watch your hosting.
they. Oh, where's some?
If Alan ever needs a break from traders, would you host that show?
Oh, maybe I'll host the shit out of that show. They would be so worn out, they wouldn't even know what to do. I'll be like, all right, good morning, dumb motherfuckers, because y'all can't figure out who the fucking trader is. So let's figure out what today's is.
You gotta outdo his outfits though.
Oh.
Whenever he walks out, I'm like, who like I don't like who
I'm
thinks,
gonna tell
like,
you now, I never wore a skirt in my life or kilt, but I would have wore the hell out of that leather and flannel kilts because that was sharp. And then also the one that he wore for, oh my God, what did he wear? He wore something for the wedding. I love that.
Oh,
I love that he just gives us just everything. Like he's so entertaining to me, and I appreciate that. And I love the fact that he is just like so good. Because sometimes the host, you forget who they are. Alan being who he is like who he is, which I appreciate that. Like he's very like, this is me. This is what I'm giving you. And I love Jeff. Like Jeff is a good host too. Jeff gets involved. He's talking. He talks too damn much, but he's talking. He gets involved. Julie's also good too, but Julie can't really get involved as much. Like she's like a one night out the week type of person. But I would love to host any type of show. I would love a dating show. I would do a dating show for myself. It would be great. I would call it For the Love of Big D. But my main focus is just to get the weight off so then I can feel confident in myself. And then see where it takes me. If it opens the door for other opportunities, either being, branding deals or collabs with, food companies or things like that. I can't cheat on Barry, so I can't collab with, gyms and stuff like that. But I would do food opportunities and stuff like that because I do appreciate seeing how the different, meal preps and health and what people are using. But yeah, that's my main focus, to be honest with you, Zach. That's my main focus. So, and right now also I am doing, I have my own little podcast that I do that I recap, the Survivor, Traders, Big Brother. So that's fun. That gives me an outlet to still allow people to interact and talk to me and be myself. But other than that, I would love to do something on TV. I'm way overdue now. It's time. I'm on my 4th year out of the game. It's time. But I just had to wait. I just had to see if the cards are dealt for me. If God's like, here you go, here's an opportunity, great. If not, I can't do nothing about it. At least I try. That's how I look at it.
I love it. That's awesome. This has been fun. I really I knew this conversation was going to be fun and I was going to enjoy it, but it really exceeded my expectations.
Yes, because now you're going to go do your Survivor tape.
Yeah. And then when I'm on it, you're going to be like, I told you.
Yes. And then you're going to bring home $1 million. I'm like, yes. I'm telling you, I'm trying to get my people that I care about. I'm like, go do Survivor. If I tell you to go do Big Brother, that means I don't like you. I'm being honest. If I tell you, yeah, you should go do Big Brother, I don't like you. Now, if somebody comes up to me and says, hey, I really want to do Big Brother, I'll be like, okay, good, go for it. But if I personally tell you, you should go do Big Brother, that means I do not like you because I'm setting you up for hell. Where Survivor, that means I love you. I want you to succeed. Like, it's good. It's fun and it's short. And you have a family, so I'm thinking about your family, think about the stuff you got at home. 28 days ain't long.
No.
So that's my thoughts.
Kate, who might
no, but this was great. I have fun. I feel like I got a little mental let out. Now I have, let me see how many hours I have left because I'm on West Coast time. I think I have 18 hours to finish 4 assignments.
Oh, nice. Well, I will let you get back to that. I don't miss this.
Thank you. I don't know what I got myself into. Oh, if you like, I always like to tell people when we're on people's podcasts, guys, if you're watching this, please remember to like, subscribe, comment, share. I don't care if you share with your neighbor, share with the dog, share with the cat, share with the kids, share with somebody. Oh, not the kids, because I cursed. Just share with people. It's all about growing and helping each other, because you never know.
Well, I appreciate that, because I don't ever say that at the end of my podcast. So
you should. People should know. And comment your questions. The people might have questions for you. Comment your questions. Don't ask me no questions. I ain't got no answers for you. Zach is the expert. Ask Zach the questions.
Yeah. And just like Derek, I like helping out. So yeah, I will answer anything and everything. So definitely do.
Good.
Well, thank you, Derek. Again, I appreciate you coming on. It's been a blast.
Thank you so much. I had so much fun. Bye, guys.